evening, everyone. Calling to order the first meeting, committee meeting of 2026 of the Protective Services Committee of the Putnam County Legislature. Item number 1 is the Pledge of Allegiance. I will ask Legislator Montgomery to please lead us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. Roll call, please.
Legislator Agnusio.
Present.
Legislator Montgomery. Chairman Regan.
Present. Item number 3 on our agenda is the acceptance of the minutes from December 9, 2025, which we've all been provided copies of. Need a motion to accept the meeting minutes?
Second.
I'm going to abstain. I wasn't here. I mean, I wasn't on the committee.
Now,
So can I?
you were provided copies of the minutes, though,
Right. Okay, sure.
as far as they exist.
I wasn't a committee
Yeah,
member.
Tommy wasn't here either.
Right. But they do exist, so we're going to accept them into the record.
You got it.
All right? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Item number 4 on our agenda is the approval and appointment of the Bureau of Emergency Services Commissioner, Mr. James Oster. Mr. Oster, would you please take a seat in front of us here for a second? Sure. Thank you so much. We've all been provided with Mr. Oster's application, his resume, his letter of intent. Want to welcome you here this evening, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Good to see you. In so much as that you've been in the role now for a little bit as interim, with everything that we have, the documentation in front of us, we want to welcome. Thank you for coming here tonight. Anything that you'd like to communicate or share with us now that you've been in the role on the interim for some time?
So it has been an eye-opening experience. The responsibilities of the commissioner and the bureau as a whole, everything from the administrative side to running the 911 center to responding to emergencies like structure fires and things of that nature. So one thing that I would like to share with you is that with the loss of Chris Shields, my second week on the job, we are quite understaffed, and I'd like to think that we can get some support from the legislature in the weeks ahead as far as filling those positions and getting up to where we need to be staff-wise so that we can accomplish our goals.
Okay. And do we have any questions for James from anyone on the committee?
I just have a comment, if I may. I had the opportunity to meet with the interim commissioner in Phillipstown. We did a site visit at the new radio antenna in the village of Nelsonville up behind the highway garage. I'm just super impressed with his experience and his, boots on the ground experience with fire and EMS and as a professional law enforcement officer. I think, he, just that brief time that I met with him, he definitely brings the leadership and the community relations experience that's required. We talked a lot about relationships with the different departments throughout the town, which, having been a member of those volunteer organizations, there's a lot that we can do to, build bridges with those departments. And I'm excited that he wants to work on that too. We talked about difficult projects that are happening in District 1 and, being in tune with those. And, most of all, he is an avid fly fisherman, so I feel like a retreat on the Delaware is in store. And that's all I have to say. Welcome.
Thank you for that. Appreciate
Any
it.
questions, Tony?
Not questions, but a comment. Also, welcome and very happy. And also, I have to say that Jimmy is from my town in Kent.
I am born and raised.
Welcome aboard. You're going to do a fantastic job. I know that.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So, and I'll get to other legislators in a second. So in that same vein, James, just sort of going along with the question I was opening with right there, is that my understanding is that a good 90% of your job will be what we call blue sky days, right? Is planning, just responding to lift assist, things of that nature. But how has it been so far, experience or expectations going forward with planning for MCIs? That job that you have right there, right, carries 95% blue skies, but 10% tremendously terrible days. You've already had the snowstorm to deal with, but how has it been so far with looking out? We all want to do what's best for the county. You have to imagine what's the worst case scenario and figure out what's planning for. How has that been going so far?
It's been going well. So, like you said, a lot of the days are uneventful as far as emergencies go, but we have unfortunately had our share in Putnam County over the last month or 6 weeks that I've been there, of serious incidents, from fatal car accidents to structure fires. We had an officer-involved shooting with the Sheriff's Department. So there's been a lot going on. So I think the key to your success is to pre-plan for those events so that when they do happen, you're ready to respond to them and you know what you're supposed to do instead of trying to figure it out when you get there, kind of thing.
Right. Thank you. I had questions from other legislators. Legislator Crowley?
I don't, are we going to duel it out, or will the chairman go first?
First of all, I've reviewed your resume and know your background, and I'm very confident that people of Putnam County are going to be well served with you in the commissioner position. And I just have one question for you. Is this your first interaction with any county legislator from Putnam County?
As far as an official meeting,
Wasn't your dad a county
Yeah.
legislator?
oh, yes.
Yes, yeah.
My father was a county
That's what
legislator
I'm
in
hearkening
the late
back to.
80s, early 90s.
Exactly,
Yep, sure.
Cliff Oster. And
Yes.
that's-
He's actually on the wall,
He
right
is
out
indeed.
there. Yes.
All of us hope to get there, not so soon,
Okay.
but at some point. But I knew your dad, I worked in county government, and your dad was a county legislator.
Okay.
I'm very glad to see that the family tradition is continuing in service of Putnam County. Your dad was a great public official, and I know you'll do him proud. So thank you for that. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
your service.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I was going left to right. Chair recognizes Legislator Crowley.
Thank you, Chairman. I just want to say thank you to you and everybody else in this room for a flawlessly executed weekend and weekday. Thank you. I know it was your first snowstorm here, and getting thrown right into it was probably amazing. But you guys did a great job. I can't thank you enough. Long nights, no sleep, all the things. So just want to say thank you. Welcome. And
Thank
we hope you stay with us after that wonderful weekend.
The weekend was uneventful as far as the storm goes for the most part. We owe a lot of the credit to DPW and that crew. They were the ones out there on the roads, clearing the roads for everybody, making it safe to travel and get back to work and all that. So,
Thank you. Any other legislators? Legislator Sage?
Hey, Commissioner, and I had the opportunity to sit down with you yesterday, actually. It was a great conversation. I'm very impressed with your background, your experience, and one thing that you mentioned is that you're hands-on, and I know that there have been several incidents that you've had to approach since you've been here, and you're at every incident. You're hands-on and your experience, and I think that shows great leadership. And I think you're off to a great start. I know you've got a lot ahead of you, and I know you have a lot of work ahead of you. Is there anything? What is the first step that you see in your tenure here? What is the first thing you want to try to accomplish?
so I am very much a hands-on person. I believe firmly in leading by example. So I do plan to continue to go out to emergency calls, even if we have a coordinator or a battalion or fire chief there. I think it's important that the people that work with and for us see me out there setting the example and can look to me for guidance. As far as the first objective, I think it would be to get our manpower back to where it needs to be so that we can make sure we're accomplishing all of our tasks. There's a lot to be done, and right now it's putting a bit of a burden on our existing staff to try to accomplish all that stuff.
Thank you.
Any other legislatures? Legislator Russo?
I just want to thank you for jumping in. And I have read your resume and I'm impressed, so I know Putnam County will be in great hands.
Great.
So thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Any other legislators? Nobody raised their hand. Any public comment pertaining to the Protective Services confirmation of Commissioner Oster? There being none, I will make a motion that the Protective Services Committee of the Putnam County Legislature, I in fact authorize the appointment of James Oster as Commissioner of Bureau of Emergency Services to be forwarded to the full legislature.
Second?
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Welcome.
opposed? So carried. Stay right there.
They're right there. Okay.
Next item on our agenda is number 5. And due to a change in circumstances, I'm going to make a motion that we withdraw item number 5 from our agenda this evening. The circumstances behind the grant program have changed, so it will not be on our agenda for tonight. Need a second?
I'll second that.
All approved? Aye. Okay. Item number 6, approval grant application, Emergency Services IP Network Readiness Grant Program. Could you just give us a little bit on that, sir?
Sure. So the grant was actually applied for in November of 2025, before my tenure. What it is it's a grant from New York State Homeland Security that provides funding for our 911 center to improve its internet infrastructure. It's a roughly $700,000 grant, just under, maybe $690,000 and change. And that's fully funded by the state with no burden on the county for that
Excellent.
grant.
Great. Any other questions
Yeah, I think that's great.
from us? Okay, any other?
Just a comment,
Okay,
as usual. Just thanks for, jumping right in and stepping up and pursuing these critical funding mechanisms to make our infrastructure faster, safer, more resilient in storms like we just saw, and it's much needed. So, and you stepped right into it, and that's a big part of the job, I know. Thank you.
You're welcome.
okay, pertaining to this grant application, no other questions from the committee? Any questions or comments from other legislatures? No? Any questions or comments from the public pertaining to this issue? No? That being said, I make a motion, we accept item number 6, approval of the grant applications for the emergency services grant.
Second.
Seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried, very good. Item number 7, moving on to approval of budgetary amendment 26A005 Sheriff's Office, Matthew March Charitable Trust donation. Welcome, Sheriff Hess.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Very good, very
Just
good.
stay. You're next anyways.
Yes.
We can do this together. Use you as backup because
There you
I
go.
need it. Yeah.
Nice to sit
Good
with
evening.
someone.
Good evening.
So pertaining to the approval budgetary amendment in front of us here, we are just making a motion to accept a donation to your department?
Correct. We got a check for $1,000 from this organization. We applied it to the budget for community outreach materials, promotional materials that we don't really have a budget line for. So if we go to these community events, car seat events, we'll have promotional materials, sheriff's office, stay safe on the roads and all that type of stuff.
Fantastic, thank you. Any questions from the committee?
No?
None?
I had thought to ask, why, but, it could be that this donation could be confidential in nature, but I just want to thank Mark and Jack for their contribution. They do a lot to contribute to local organizations throughout the county, and I just always think that it's neighbors like this that make our community so special and really hold us together.
Yeah, and we didn't ask for the money, right? The check just appeared, which was nice to
So
see.
nice.
Yeah.
Who knows why, right? Sometimes could be you responded to something or.
Yeah. It looks like they also gave money last year, so maybe this is just something they do, which is very nice.
Nice.
Thank you.
Nice
All
to
right.
get a gift, isn't it?
It is nice.
All right, any other legislatures for comment on approval of this budgetary amendment? None others? Any public comment pertaining to this line item? There being none, I make a motion, we accept this budgetary amendment 26A005. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Next, item number 8, we have the fund transfer 25T525, Emergency Services, fourth quarter automotive chargeback. Any commentary, any information, sir?
Yes, sir. So at the end of last year, we had about $5,000 in change in our budget line for automotive chargebacks. We had subsequently received billing from DPW in a little over $7,000. So we needed to do a fund transfer from our radio communications line to our automotive chargeback line. And since the amount put us over the $10,000 requirement for the year, we're seeking your approval to complete that fund transfer.
Were there any problems that generated that $2,600 overage? And any issues leading up to that? That it was $2,600 above the budgeted item? Was there any-
So the budget was low, in my opinion, to start with. It was only $5,000 in that budget line for 2025, and there were some unforeseen repairs to some of the ATVs and trucks that they didn't budget for, or didn't budget high enough for. So that's where the transfer request came from. And in 2026, we've upped that budget amount to $15,000 to try to avoid having to do those transfers to cover our needs for the year.
Great, okay. Anyone else on the committee with an inquiry pertaining to this fund transfer? None? Any other legislators with a comment or a question? Members of the public? That being the case, I'll make a motion, we approve fund transfer 25T525.
Chairman Regan, you don't have to approve it because it's an FYI.
Excellent, okay. Done. Next item on our agenda is item number 5, the fourth quarter coroner cases. We have all provided this information.
Thank you.
I don't know if there's a member of the, if we have any inquiries with that? We just approved that? It's an FYI?
It's an FYI
Same
as well.
thing?
It's an FYI, but I would like to make a comment. It's not confidential, the coroner's report. It is, available to the public, and I will be doing this at every, Protective Services Committee meeting, because I think it's important to note, while we do have the Sheriff's Department here, and we have Social Services here actually in the room, every month from, on this report, January through March, through the end of the year, we've had, accidental and also suicides reported every month. Accidental suicides, accidental suicide cases, overdoses. So I think those, that's a significant thing to note as we approach this year as legislators and funding for mental health and protective services, and making sure that we keep those numbers down, hopefully through the services we have for the people of Putnam County. I'll tell you, they're way lower than they used to be when I first got into public office, and I thank everybody that works in these departments for that number, but we still have at least one suicide a month, or at least, 1 or 2 overdoses a month, and that's sad. Thank you.
Thank you. Do I take any other questions from the legislatures then on the FYI? Okay. Any other legislatures pertaining to the FYI on the coroner's report? Any public comment pertaining to the coroner's report? Okay. There being none, we take that under advisement. Thank you. Item number 10 is any other business pertaining to items previously discussed here? None? Okay, that being the case, I make a motion we adjourn our first Protective Services meeting, 2026.
They got 18 minutes.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Have a great day. Thank you for showing.
committee on Wednesday, January 28th, 2026. You're going to rise to say the Pledge of Allegiance. I will call Legislator Russo to say the pledge. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm going to ask the clerk to call the roll, please.
Legislator Reagan,
Present.
Legislator Russo,
Present.
Chairwoman Crowley.
Present. Item number 4 is correspondence from the county auditor. So we have A is the sales tax report. As an FYI, we are actually doing better than we were supposed to. We're at $86,061.61,851. So we're $1.7 million above what we were supposed to be. So that looks pretty good. Look it over. Any questions from the committee?
The minutes.
Oh, I apologize. Acceptance of the minutes. I went right through that. I apologize. We're going to go back to item 3. We're going to accept the minutes. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're going to go back to 4A, the sales tax report. So again, we're about $1,786,000 over. Any questions? Committee? Legislators? Public? Okay, we're going to make a motion to accept.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Chairman Crowley, these are also FYIs, you don't have to accept those.
Item B, we are going to, or B, is the board-in revenue. So we're a little behind on that one. We're at $761,950. We budgeted for $810,000. So we're about $48,050 behind. So take that over. Any questions from the committee? Legislators? Public? Okay. We're going to move on to 4D, the contingency and subcontingency report. Take a look at it. If anybody has any questions or comments.
You're on, this is 4D, you said?
It can actually be 4C.
Or 4C?
4C, sorry.
4C,
I'm
okay.
flying right through these, I apologize. Yeah, 4C, sorry. 4C.
That's a
Yeah.
transfer revenue report. Okay.
Yep, 4C, yeah. Transfer revenue report, please look it over if you have any questions. Questions from the committee?
None.
Questions from legislature? Public? 4D, now we're going to do the 2025 contingency report and subcontingency report. The pending balance for 2025 was $518,725. Can take a look at it. Anybody have any questions? Legislators?
None.
Public?
I just wanted to know for the 2026 subcontingency
That's
report.
E.
Oh, sorry. We didn't get there yet.
Nope, that's okay. 4E, the 2026 subcontingency contingency report. Take a look. Commissioner Conlon was nice to prepare both for us, so any questions from the committee?
None.
Legislators?
Just a comment. I don't believe that the funding for minority and majority council is in subcontingency, as several legislators mentioned during the public hearing, that it is in subcontingency. It is not. It is in the budget.
Okay. Thank you.
Just one brief comment, and I'm getting ahead, just item 26T001, that might change today, but we'll wait till we get to item 11 on that. That's all I have, thank you.
What might change?
Item 11. So this is going to be 26T001, county executive position salary adjustment.
it's a technical
Yeah.
thing. That's,
Legislator Regan?
To the chair, even if we do make an adjustment, this is the report that's given
It
to
is.
us as of
It
now.
is.
Right?
It
So
is.
it's a
Yep.
matter of record
Yep.
now.
Yep.
So accepting that any changes that we may make, this is submitted into record.
And we have Commissioner Carlin here. If you have any questions, we can call him up early. Come on up.
Oh, I was hiding.
He was, he snuck in.
I'm ready. No, the report is the way it is, and whether you table it or not, it's still going to be 26T001, so doesn't make any difference.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Any comments from the public? All right, we're going to move on to agenda item 5A, which is a resolution for approval of budgetary amendment 25A125 finance year-end entry number 2.
Yes, every year we do a series of budgetary amendments, usually 3 or 4. We'll have one more in February that reflects the actual operations of the year, this year being 2025. And this is year-end entry number 2. I'll be glad to go through all of them. There's about 100 plus here, but if you have any particular question, we can go through that. But for the most part, this reflects the actual operations of the county and eliminates a lot of the variances.
Any questions from the committee?
To the chair. And are there any anomalies or any problems with the changes? This sounds like a significant.
No, a lot of the stuff, as you've heard all before, there's more preschool entries for the exact same reasons that have been discussed before. It's run by the actual number of kids in the program, the amount of services they need. The services are more severe, but a lot of it is just to reflect the actual operations, to close out some old capital projects.
So
all
nothing
that kind of
problematic
stuff.
that
No.
comes across your radar screen? Thank you.
No.
Any comments from the legislators?
yes, if I could just through the chair, Bill, this is what I usually refer to as the Peter and Paul list. I take from Peter, but there's nothing, as to echo
Right.
Tommy's thing, there's nothing unusual about us doing this each year.
No,
Essentially,
it's
just-
done every year, because otherwise, on your financial statements, you'd have to report every variance, and your 250-page financial statement would probably be about 400 or 500 pages.
And the reason that we do these every year is because, in addition to the fluctuations that you mentioned, things we have to pay for,
Correct.
it's necessary for us to do this to, as you said, to make our financial statements correct when they get presented to the auditors.
Absolutely.
So, okay, good. That's a usual event that we do, so just,
Yes.
Any other questions from the
Every year.
legislators?
Just one more. And this would include any bills that come in after 2025 that would pertain to 2025 too? I mean, anything? Or would
Yeah,
that be
correct,
double
as we know
bookkeeping?
now, we're still in the process of closing the books, claims are still being done, the fiscal managers still have a lot to do in the accountants. And there'll be one more entry that'll cover even more stuff, probably in February.
Yeah.
Any questions from, Legislator Blumer?
Since the commissioners, want to ask a question about 4A, if you don't mind.
No, not at all.
We show a loss of $1,786,000. When will that be an actual number?
What do you mean, the sales tax? Which is for it?
Is that a true number, a loss for,
No,
It's just a budget.
no, it's not a loss.
Positive.
We're about 6 million over budget, and we're about $1 million over what we actually got last year.
okay, but we budgeted a
So
little
it's
bit,
flat,
though, so-
yeah. In '26, we upped the budget substantially from what it was in 2025 to bridge the gap. But we got about 101% of what we actually collected last year, maybe a little less. So in terms of actual collections, from 24 to 25, they were flat. And that's what we projected for 26 too, flat.
Well, after the snowstorm this weekend and everybody bought out all the supermarkets with all the food, hopefully our sales tax went up a lot. So that would be great, right? Everything is wonderful. So, any questions? Legislator Montgomery?
Just one for the, I think it's
Sure.
probably the most significant number here, other than the bond transfers, is the capital fund transfer, 1,350,221. That's just transferred from the general fund to the capital fund.
Right,
for
it depends,
miscellaneous.
it depends which project we're talking about.
Okay.
Because a lot of times they're budgetary numbers that aren't even reflected in actual. You know, sometimes we change where we're not going to use bonds, we're going to use capital reserve or something like that. And that's usually why there's such a big amount there. Usually it's a change in funding that causes that.
Any questions from the public? Okay, on that, I'm going to make a motion to accept. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 5B, approval of budgetary amendment 25A 126, finance ARPA spending through 12/31/2025.
Yes, this is good news. You're spending the money, you're getting near the finish line. We've spent probably about 14.5 million of the 19 million between us and the municipalities that were allocated the funds. We filed the December 31st report that was due in about 4 days from now. And we're still on track with ARPA. There is one wild card, but we'll see next month.
Okay. Any questions for any legislators on the committee? Any questions from any legislators? Legislator Sage?
So, how much longer do we have to spend this money?
ARPA has to be gone by the end of 2026, completely
the end
out
of
the
this
door.
year,
Or
this has to be
yes,
spent.
has to go back to the
Otherwise,
feds.
it's done.
Exactly, and it's actually September for certain types of projects, such as the paving infrastructure, that has to be all spent and out the door by September.
So did they, I mean, they shipped the money to us, we have it,
Yep, we
In
had
an
to
account.
encumber it by 24, and it has to be spent by 26.
and if it's not spent by September, then we have to write the federal government a check for
We-
whatever.
Certain months for
$8.
September, but most of it is December. If it's not done by December of 2026, has to go back to the feds.
Wow, okay.
Nobody wants that.
Let's spend,
So it will be spent.
okay.
Any other legislators?
Yes, through the chair, Bill, I see a lot of these increased appropriations. Are these ARPA funds supplementing or
No,
replacing local tax dollars? Is
it's
that-
the way you account for it.
Okay.
The rules of the program require us to account for it in the general fund,
Okay,
but the actual projects are set up in the capital fund. So these are just interfund transfers of the ARPA money from the general to the capital. It has no impact on any funding. It's just an accounting transfer.
wash between funds.
Right. If we should have accounted for everything in the capital fund, you wouldn't even see this, but the state controller did not want it accounted for that way, so.
They want to
they gotta do
track
what
the
they
ARPA
say.
funds and how they were spent.
Yeah, and we
Okay.
can track them in the capital fund, but they just want them in the general fund.
Can I ask one more question?
Sure, Legislator Sage.
Mr. Chair. So if a project falls through, then what would happen? Say there's $2 million out there of a project that falls through. Can that be reallocated, or do we just lose it?
That can be reallocated only among the projects that were approved and encumbered as of December 31st, 2024.
2024, right?
So it can only be allocated among certain projects. If a project were to fall through, that doesn't mean we start the process over again. There's only a limited
Right.
amount of options that the county would have.
Just need to be reworked.
Right. And it have to be done
Right.
quickly.
Any other legislators? Public? Okay, I'm going to move to accept this. 5C, for a second?
Second.
Or 5B, I apologize. All in favor?
Aye.
5C is the approval of budgetary amendment 26A001, Department of Social Services, Mental Health and Youth Bureau, adjust state aid levels, safe harbor allocation. Hello.
Hi, good
How are
evening.
you? Thank you for joining us. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
you.
So this budgetary amendment is an annual budgetary that we put through as an allocation that comes down Typically, year over year, we've seen this allocation be approximately 30,000. It was actually cut to just about 16 and change, but if you look on the last page of the backup, that was across the state. So you'll see even as big as New York City was getting the same allocation as us.
Was this pass-through money?
We pass it on to a contracted agency to provide the service, yes.
No, I meant federal to state. Is that why it was cut? Sorry.
This is provided by New York State Office of
Yeah,
Children and Family
Yeah,
Services.
I don't know
if it
if
was
they get it
Peter's-
from the feds. They might have been
That's
gotten
what I
it,
mean,
but
it was,
that's
it might have been
fine.
cut because
As
it's
part of the
pass-through,
funding.
yes.
Right.
So I'm wondering if this is the new norm.
It possibly could be, yes.
It's
Okay.
likely,
Yeah.
frankly, but we can find out for sure.
Okay, wonderful. Any questions from the committee?
No?
Any questions from the, Legislator Anizio?
Thank you. Yeah, I was remembering 30,000. And here, just so that people do know that this is very, very important. The Safe Harbor project is for addressing the needs of trafficked and commercially sexually exploited children and youth. And I just can't understand how they could drop that to $16,949. That this is across the board.
Right.
We have worked with our partnered agency, and they've looked at their budget and reworked things to still be able
Oh,
to
good.
provide those services under these limitations.
Because people don't realize that we do need that in Putnam County.
Yes, absolutely.
And just to emphasize, it's not county funding that's being cut,
No.
it's the funding we're
Right.
getting.
I understand.
Thank you, Legislator Anizio. Any other legislators? Chairman Montgomery, or Legislator Montgomery?
Thanks. Remind me of the agency we're contracting with.
It's Green Chimneys.
Green Chimneys.
Yes.
Sorry. And so they're making up for it somehow. We don't know how, but
They
I don't
could be
know.
on the back end, just using other types of services, or, I'm not sure.
it's interesting in Onondaga County, which is 3 times as big as us, but not nearly as big as Westchester is getting, 22,000. And Cortland County, which I think is about the same size as us, I don't remember, is getting 22,000. I wonder how that worked out, but it's just interesting and sad that funding is being cut when it's most needed. Just when people seem to have the license now to commit more crimes, we're cutting services that can prevent them and help people who are victims of them.
Any other questions from any other legislators? Public? All right, we move this item forward. For a second. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you,
Item.
Kristen.
Thank you. Thank you. Item 5D, which is the approval of budgetary amendment 26A002, Youth Bureau Adjust State Aid Allocation. Hello, how are you? Thank you for coming.
Sorry.
This is our funding that we received from New York State Office of Children and Family Services. We're just trying to put it in the correct lines. So we do an RFP, we receive RFPs back, of what different programs want to apply for the funding from the state, and then my youth board allocates it to, depending on how much they're applying for and how much we're getting from the state. So we have different, we have our youth development program line that we get from the state. We receive team sports and also youth sports and education. So those are 3. Plus, we also receive the runaway and homeless youth funding, but that goes right to Green Chimneys. So just what we're looking to do is just appropriate to the correct budget lines. Most of these programs are programs that we've been currently funding. One of the new programs that we are looking to fund with some of the money is the Phillipstown Hub. So we're looking to, offer some funding to them, so as well. So we're excited about that. I'm just trying to see, if you see with the municipal recs, that is for the Carmel Rec program. They do a Tiny Tots program, and the other funding would go towards Phillipstown Hub. And then where it says the state aid youth programs, the sports, that is the administration money that we receive that goes towards salaries for the Youth Bureau to go out then and monitor these programs, make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing with the money that we allocate to them. So most of those programs are on the weekends. Myself and my deputy go out and check on them. We do a scoring tool called a PQA, just to make sure, and then we give that to the state when they come down to audit us too.
And when you're doing that, is there an opportunity for you to continue getting more money as you're scoring them and overachieving in some of these grants and some of these programs?
So the only funding line that we've received any additional is the sports lines. A lot of that money is from the state receiving money from gambling, from it's going towards youth programs.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Yes.
Keep gambling.
Okay, well, we're turning it around for good, so there's that.
Yes, so hopefully, looks like that number probably will keep going up.
Okay, well, I'm sorry I asked that question.
I know.
Any questions from the committee?
Yeah.
Legislator Regan?
Meg, so you said through gambling, is that through, maybe you don't know this, is that from lottery generated money or casinos in New York?
Yes, it's the casinos in New York that that they're giving the state money to.
Great, okay, great.
We'll take it.
Take it, right?
We don't get that much, so.
Right.
But,
3 new casinos coming, so ask for more money next year, right?
Any other questions from the committee?
No.
Any other questions from the legislators? Questions from the public? Okay, I'm gonna make a motion to move this forward. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you. This is item 5E, approval of budgetary amendment 26A003, sheriff reallocation of positions to patrol BCI and Narcotics Division. Good evening, Sheriff Hess.
Good evening, how are you?
Great.
Now the table gets smaller.
Yeah.
What are you trying to say?
Nothing I wouldn't say to me.
So this is part of, I think last year we spoke about changes in the sheriff's office, and I said, give me a chance, I'm gonna come in and reorganize. After I was sworn in, in January, we started to do some reorganization, so that's what you're seeing here. I'll just read them all off to you. Please let me know what you want to discuss further. I think the biggest changes were some of the titles of the different divisions. So, for example, Operations Division Captain has now been changed to Community Security and Intelligence Division. That captain, which is Corinne Pitt, has taken on the role of the SROs and SPOs, where all those functions fell under patrol in the past. So we kind of split the workload. That's a majority of the workload. It was all fell on one captain in the past. So that's that change, which I don't know if that's noted here, but it'll give you an overview feeling of it. Civil, there was a civil captain, a civil division. We've changed that to the administrative division. And the civil captain now has more duties, including internal affairs, medical control, 207Cs, stuff that was kind of left split between all the different divisions in the past.
Right.
Thank you.
And there's no new people.
There's no new people. I'm just giving you some background. The stuff we're here to talk about is the changes of the personnel. So what we did is we took 2 deputies out of narcotics and moved them back to road patrol. We took 2 investigators from, I remember it now. We took 2 investigators from BCI, moved them into narcotics, and changed the name of narcotics to Special Investigations Unit.
Right. Because
what has happened, and I think Legislator Montgomery spoke about it, any overdose is too many, but the numbers have been dropping every year. So we look at, in 2022, we had 22 overdoses, and 2025, we had 5. Right, so that number is going down. Like I said, any overdose is too many, but now what we've done is we've taken those 6 investigators and given them more responsibilities. Pattern crimes, burglaries. They were responsible for the Brewster murder investigation. These are great guys. We just had to widen what they do. They're still doing narcotics investigations as they come up, but we've also opened them up to do other types of investigations also. The other change I think we see here is we've moved a senior investigator's position down to a sergeant's position and moved that position into patrol from BCI. As we've reduced the BCI numbers, we split that between 2 senior investigators instead of 3, and we needed that extra sergeant in patrol, and that's where we reallocated that person.
That's all 5.
I got them all?
You got them all?
Okay. I'm open for any questions or concerns or discussion.
So this comes with a 0 fiscal impact in '26 and '27.
I think I saved money actually for you.
Yeah,
I saved
yeah,
it.
it saved
Eliminating
money.
3 senior
Well, we
investigators down to a,
reduced,
yes.
well, we reduced
Yeah.
1 senior down to a sergeant, which was a savings of 17,000.
And then there won't be any other.
I'll come back for that money in the future.
I have no doubt. Do any legislators on the committee have any questions? Legislator Regan.
Through the chair, hey, Sheriff. So, excellent work here. Thank you for making the operational decisions that you deem necessary. Sort of piggybacking on when I was sitting in the back right here, you had made mention, at least I think so last year, about positions that were not filled within the department. Do you still have, despite all of this operational decisions here, you still have vacancies that you're seeking to fulfill?
We have 4 deputy sheriff vacancies right now. We have 5 correctional vacancies still. We are doing backgrounds currently on the deputy sheriffs. We're trying to, these people are ours for 20 years, so we want to be very picky, make sure we get the right people for these jobs. And corrections is a whole different discussion. That's a tougher job to fill. I don't think we even have the candidates at this point.
Are you funded for those openings?
We are.
Okay, excellent. Okay,
Yes.
thank you. Thank you, Chair.
So I was gonna ask the same thing. Thank you for thinking about it and reallocating resources. And then if you had vacancies, which you still do, hopefully we can fill them soon.
Yes, we're trying.
Legislator Sage?
Oh, just- So you're pulling positions out of those 2 departments, putting them into road patrol. How will this affect overtime in road patrol? If you're getting more,
This will reduce overtime in road patrol. What we're trying to do is I'm trying to bolster the number of cars we have available on every tour to make sure we have ample backup. And we're also starting to look at different things. We're changing sector maps. We have a bunch of stuff in the works right now. We're paying attention to time to arrival. How long does it take when you call 911 to have a police car arrive at your house? The only way to fix that is to have more police cars available and make sure they're deployed properly throughout the county. So those are the studies we're doing right now. Having additional in-road patrol help, kind of offset some of these changes and make sure guys are there as quick as possible. And people have the proper backup also.
So,
just one more question. So, oh shoot, I just lost my train of thought. So, and this will also affect scheduling. I mean, you just said scheduling, but the overtime scheduling, so schedules will be more level.
Yeah, so what we've done in the past, they were doing a lot of tour swapping to try to eliminate overtime. We're trying to reduce that practice and make sure people have families and home lives and not switching people's tours within, a day. So we've reduced that, but that also instills more overtime, right? So now we have to offset that, and we offset that by moving personnel around to try to offset those changes.
Thank you.
so historically BCI and narcotics has always been kind of like a periodic kind of stop by, right? And people have rotated, they've gone in and they've come out into other roles through the sheriff's department. So that's not new, correct?
Correct.
Some
What's-
stay, some.
Yeah, what's
some-
new here, what I notice is new, and I'm hoping to work on in 2027, is the split of narcotics and BCI. They're investigators, they should be all together, one budget, so I can move them around. Not that I don't like coming to see you folks, but sometimes things happen very quickly, and I need to move people as the needs arise. I think, talking to Bill, he said narcotics came along later, right? BCI's been here since the beginning, narcotics became big probably in the 80s, 90s. So they made it a separate division. It's separate in the budget, it's all separate stuff. It's easier for me to manage if these could be all consolidated, so I'm hoping to do that in 27.
Perfect. And then secondly, how many cars do we have for patrol in each A, B, and C tour? Is it 5 still, or is it 6?
So it's 5, minimum staffing is 5 still. Optimal is 6 or 7. So what we've done to offset some of those changes, And these haven't come out yet. We've made a traffic unit, which is an additional car on the B line, the day
So
tours.
like a float car, you have a float car?
It's a traffic car, they're here for traffic complaints, but they're available now to back people up and respond to calls as needed. On the C line, and the evening tours is the conditions guy. The conditions is the narcotics guys move back to patrol. Now they work a steady evening tour, Tuesday through Saturday. Same reason, that bumps us up one additional car on the evening tours, extra car on the road. And I'm hoping if we ever get manpower back, we'll also have an additional car on the midnights.
I would
That's the
love
goal.
to see 6 again, because I think having 5 cars on this entire county is very hard to do, and when you have them in sectors, and then you used to have 2 float cars in each zone, it made sense, and it still sounded a little low when you look at how many are in Carmel, so I fully support you guys in having manpower to support our county, our residents, and our men in blue to stay safe.
I
Especially
agree
during
with
the
you.
summer hours and nighttime hours, so just gonna make that clear.
And we're making other changes to try to make minimize those changes also.
Perfect, well, thank you. Any other questions? Legislator Montgomery?
A question related to that first meeting way back when and this, and how it relates to that first meeting and the discussion we had in relation to the critical response team, co-responder team.
Yep.
There's other teams, and it's really complicated, and I appreciate you shifting things around, and, it's a lot to understand. So coming from just being a legislator, does this affect those positions and those critical response
There's still a
teams?
deputy assigned to the co-responder team.
Okay,
They do great work every day. They're
Great.
teamed up with DSS, and I think that grant is coming to an end. I'll have to have a conversation with Commissioner Servadio to see what we're going to do and where we're going to get the funding to continue that program if we want to.
great. And I know we discussed at that meeting with, the fear of you not having the personnel staff to take care of these needs, the mental health partnerships. And yes, the incidents of overdoses are down, but I think the incidents of mental health crises are up. So with that in mind, I'm hoping you come to us for a staff position to address that, because I think that was discussed at that previous meeting, where it was like, it's just you don't know if you have the staff for this, and obviously, it's something I think that the community would really use and need.
Yeah, so that, right, we spoke about, that deputy came out of road patrol.
Yeah.
So that's one less, to have the other conversations about overtime. So that's someone who's not available for any other shifts. So it's a discussion if we want to fund. I would like to see it funded,
Yeah.
right? And so I think that'll be
I just
come to you guys to
think
fund
that,
that.
forever, it's been the sheriffs and the police force that has been the first responders to these mental health incidents, these crisis incidents. It doesn't involve crime, it doesn't involve, it involves something that, maybe, I don't want to even say you're not necessarily trained for, but my gosh, you need some backup. And just with the invention of these critical response teams and seeing you respond with social services, it's really great to see. And
No, it's
I
been
hope-
great, yes.
I really hope it continues.
Agree.
Thanks.
And you also brought out you brought community policing back, correct?
So there's one deputy assigned to community policing. I don't think that's ever changed. She's been there. She does a great job. And no changes expected there.
Legislator Golden?
Thank you, Chairwoman. Overdoses are down. Do you find drug use, illegal drug use in general down, or are they just using different drugs that are not killing them?
I would give most of the credit to social services and education, so people realize the damage fentanyl and everything else does to you. I don't think, I would love for law enforcement to take credit for it, but I don't think we can. I think it's more of an educational thing. I would have no idea if drug use is down, though. I think, the deputies aren't finding as many drug cases as they used to, if that's an answer, right? They don't have as many cases as they used to. So that's why we're kind of expanding their role to keep sure they stay busy.
Is that because they've changed the schedule of drugs?
Well,
Sorry, I just wanted to ask, with marijuana being legalized and different things
it makes
being
it more
changed,
difficult for law enforcement to start investigations, where marijuana was usually an entryway also into investigations.
Okay. Well, any questions from any fellow legislators? Okay, public? I'm gonna make a motion to accept 5E.
Second?
All in favor? Aye. Sheriff, you got one more. This is 5F, an approval for budgetary amendment 26A005, sheriff donation from Matthew Marks and Jack Bankowsky. This was also reviewed and protective. Does anybody from the committee have any comments or questions?
None?
Thank you very much to the wonderful family. Any legislators have any questions regarding this? Anybody from the public? Okay, we're going to make a motion to accept.
Second it?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Sheriff and Under Sheriff. We're going to move on to agenda item 6, which is on for signature. It's approval for signature for fund transfer 25T518. This is from the Health Department, the rabies vaccine for pre and post exposure patients. It's for $3,300, and this is something we do every year. I don't know, there's nobody.
No, Bill couldn't make it
That's okay.
tonight, so I'll speak for him. He was coming Monday, but as you know, we had to switch the meeting. But this is just based on actual costs. You know, we have a rabies program through the state, and it is what it is, depending on how much they give out and the supplies and the costs.
Okay, any questions from anybody from the committee?
None?
Any questions from any legislator Sage?
Just a comment. I know I'm on the Board of Health. Last year, there was an outbreak of rabies in Putnam County, and yeah, there was one family that had to get, I think, I don't know what it was, a bat or something. So it's something that's necessary. It's something that we have to pay for, and the incidence is going up, unfortunately, and the health department takes care of that.
I'm going to regret this for Legislator Birmingham.
I want to thank Bill Orr for being a county worker who worked on New Year's Eve.
Wow.
He
Oh, I
actually
don't
worked
regret
on New Year's
that.
Eve.
I thought you were going to come in after me on that
No,
one.
no, I was just
That
saying, well,
week.
there were other departments working on New Year's Eve as well, including this one. So I wanted to thank fiscal manager Orr for working on New Year's Eve.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this whole team was working
It was.
on New Year's Eve that night time, and some during the day, too, so. We're
Yeah.
thankful of all of them, so thank you.
having
Anybody
fun.
else like to make a comment through the chair?
Sure, I'd like to point out through the chair, just we do have a
Legislator
calendar.
Montgomery.
Thank you. We do have a calendar that we adopt, and it doesn't give us New Year's Eve off. So we are working. Things get passed, and we're not on a session like New York State.
We're being mischievous, sorry.
I knew that
I'm not
already.
sorry.
Item 6 is
I'm not sorry.
It's just approval for signature,
Approval for
but.
signature.
Yep, I know. That's okay. That's what I was going to regret.
I can keep going.
Any comments from any other legislators? Public? Okay, we're gonna approve it for signature. This is also an approval, number 7 is an approval for signature. It is a,
Legislator Crowley?
Yes,
You still need a
Oh,
motion and
sorry.
a second.
sorry, second on that one.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I'll sign that one. We're gonna do agenda item number 7. It's approval for signature, fund transfer 25T525, emergency services, 4th quarter automotive chargeback, also reviewed and protective. So we just went through this. This was for $2,620. Anybody from the committee have any questions? Any legislators have any questions? Remarks? Comments?
Mischief.
Snark.
I was gonna say snark, yep. Public, any questions? Okay, can I have a second for approval to sign?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Agenda item number 8 is also an approval for signature, fund transfer 25T526, Department of Social Services, process invoice for rent. Thank you, Kristen.
Good evening. So this is an allocation that we received from the Office of Temporary Disability and Assistance. The first time we received this was in October of 2024 for the duration of the federal fiscal year. And the allocation was right shy of $14,000. We received an updated allocation for a 2-year period, up to $30,000, and we received that in January. It retros back to October, and we have one invoice outstanding that we're asking to transfer funds to cover the cost 100% through this allocation.
Perfect, thank Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we spoke about that. And then, any questions from the committee?
No question.
Any questions from any legislators? Public? Okay, we're gonna make a motion to sign this.
Seconded?
All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah. You can even stay there.
Number,
Stay.
agenda item 9 is a approval for
Stay right
signature for
there.
fund transfer 25T528 Health Department 2025 overtime in the amount of $5,060.
And again, that was the bats
New Year's
again.
Eve again.
Yeah. Now, this had happened earlier in the year as Amy bought out, and we're covering the money now.
All right, any questions from the committee, legislators? Public? I'm gonna make a motion to accept this.
Second.
Signature. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We're going to make a motion to accept the additional on agenda item number 10.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So this is an approval for a signature for a fund transfer for the health department, I'm sorry, for the Department of Social Services to cover year-end project costs.
Yes, so this is a year-end analysis that we do annually at the close of the calendar year. This is to recognize all the state chargebacks that we receive as bottom line adjustments on the settlement notices that we receive down from the state. So this includes any type of eligibility screening, fingerprinting, child support, related matters. The state does charge us back a fee for use of those internal state systems. So we take a look at this once a year at the end of the year. I rely on my accounting supervisor, who has a good reconciliation of all of the invoices that are outstanding for the year, because we were at a big push up until last Friday, for recommendations on how to fund the additional need.
Thank you. And
Thank
thank you
you.
for coming.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate it. Does anybody from the committee have any questions? Legislator Regan?
Yes, thank you. Through the chair, are there any anomalies with these figures right here? Anything stand out? Are these standard numbers?
These are standard. At the beginning of the year, we do a best guess as to, a rate of trend that we see year over year.
Okay.
But it all depends on, how many clients come in and, request services. So how many times we have to do eligibility screening, how many times we have to do fingerprint screening. It's really all part of the demand.
And these numbers align with the activity that you saw last year?
Yes.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Any other legislators have any questions? Anybody from public? Okay, I'd like to make a motion to sign. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Number 11, we're gonna make a motion to remove this from the agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Number 12, I'm sorry, is approval for a fund transfer 26T002, finance CSS caseworker position inadvertently omitted from 2026 budget.
Yes, so if you recall, last May, we came to you with an additional allocation that we received from the state for Family Center Case Management. We took one of our existing caseworkers and elevated them to a higher level to assume those responsibilities under the new allocation that we received. This former caseworker position, since it was reclassed and elevated up, we have to recreate, or the proposed recreation of this caseworker position to utilize that funding under the existing program.
Just reading. I'm sorry, I was reading.
Okay, any questions from the committee? Any questions from any other legislators? Public? Okay, we're gonna make a motion to approve. Do you have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Agenda item 13, approval, write-off of delinquent real property taxes, Town of Southeast Tax Map number 67.12-1-37. Commissioner Carlin, would you like to
This is a property in Pugsley Road. It was taken for a drainage project, and we're just writing off about $1,400 in taxes because it's municipality.
Okay, any questions from the committee? Any questions from any legislators?
Sorry, yes, do you have a question?
Sorry, Chair.
Sorry, through the chair, Commissioner Carlin, you said it was Pugsley, the information was sent.
I'm sorry, and not
Churchill Road?
Turk Hill, I'm sorry. Thinking of a different property. This is Turk Hill. My mistake.
And this write-off meets with your approval?
Yes, yeah, the taxes can't be collected. It
Cannot be
is used for a
collected,
public project, yep.
Okay.
There is no-
Okay. Any other legislators?
Just a quick thank you, Bill. Thanks for following up on that request.
Yeah.
It was very helpful. It's,
Oh, no, and in the future I can do that too, for future ones also.
Thank you.
Give you an idea of the amounts of money involved. No problem.
Thank you.
Any other legislators? Public? Okay, I'm gonna move this for approval. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution number 14, I'm going to make a motion to accept the additional. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
This is the approval of authorizing filing an application for state assistance from the Hazardous Waste Assistance Program and signing of the Associated State Master Grant Contract under the appropriate laws of New York State. They do this every single year. They couldn't be here, so I spoke to Shanna Siegel yesterday, and I asked her to put in writing some backup just so all the legislators have it on their behalf. This is something they do every single year, and they want to be financially responsible, make sure the state has it in the right amount of time so that we get the reimbursed for it,
Yeah,
correct?
for those who don't know, we have two very successful opportunities a year. They're always used, you know, it's not sold out, so to speak, but it's at capacity. They're very successful, and it's a no-brainer to continue it.
Perfect. Any questions from the committee? Any
None.
legislators? Public? Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
15, agenda item 15 is an FYI for guardrail or guardrail property damage table, compliments of Mr. Bruno. We are very thankful to have him working on this, so this is confidential. Please look it over.
Madam Chair. Just for our newer legislators, we have a box in the legislators' room for anything that's confidential that you might not want to take home. The box in the room is for shredding, gets shredded. So feel free to use that, or if you do take it home, just keep in mind it's confidential. This is probably one of their, it's confidential, but it's not high up there, but keep it least confidential. But,
Okay.
but there's other things that rise to a higher level. So just for your convenience, if you ever want to use it, the box is right in the back, and it gets taken care of properly. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Any other legislators? Public? Okay, that's just for you to look over. Agenda item 16, we're going to make a motion to accept additional. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And this is from Commissioner Carlin, correction to 82 Fair Street, Carmel Tax Map 4414-2-1. Commissioner Carlin?
Yeah, it's correcting it. We took the parcels part of the Fair Street project, and we need to correct the bill now so the property can close. It's down at the bottom of the bill there, near the S curve, I believe.
Yeah. Any questions from any legislators on the committee?
Nope.
Any legislators? Legislator Sage?
I'm just reading. This is just the difference of $443.
Yes, yep, they're correcting the bill so they can go close. The lawyers have the correct numbers and the property can close.
Any other questions from legislators? Any questions from the public? Make a motion to approve. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And agenda item 17, we are going to make a motion to adjourn. Do we have a second?
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Congratulations on your first meeting.
Well, hopefully.